Right. Welcome to DNB Spotlight Podcast. A little bit different from usual. I know we've been away a few weeks. Big shout out to Redbridge Studios for facilitating us as always. Lee's a little bit ill, so he's mainly just looking after the technical side. And today we're having a catch up with Dutta. Come on, back up north. How are we doing?
You all right, mate? Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's honestly, I've not seen you in ages, so this is probably the best way we could have a catch up. Like everyone else knows you in. Well, you're good though, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, just man. Relaxing. I'm making a lot of music at the moment.
I've seen it. You're grinding every single day. There's stuff about serums, presets, constantly bringing out tunes. You're busy. Tell us about what's going on then.
Yeah, just writing a lot of music at the moment. I've just gone over to Exeter Agency. Shout out Ashley for all the hard work he's doing. So, yeah, just getting on my music lined up and out for the rest of the year, really.
Good. You're looking healthy as well, but honestly, you're looking good. I'm not seeing it in time.
Thank you.
Last time I seen you, this is how long ago it was, because I've not seen you in ages. You had that Fendi tracksuit on, so it must be, I feel like it must be at least a year ago.
Probably a year ago, yeah.
It's been time. But with this podcast, what I want to do, I want to give people, because there's a lot of, obviously, you've been around a long, long time. Although you are young, you've been out and about since you were a late teenager, really. So what I want to do with this, I want a lot of the younger people who are just coming through now, a lot of them obviously influenced by like Boo and Edex who've come through, to get to know Dutta. Do you know what I mean? Although a lot of people do, a lot of the younger people, because you blew up massive. Let's talk about that. So how old were you when you got your first booking?
I've been playing shows since I was early shows for me was more playing for like Just Skank and people like that back in the days when Sankeys were open and stuff. So I was playing my first bookings in the clubs by like 16.
That's mad, that.
Yeah.
It's actually mad.
I used to have like an ID that it was like it wasn't mine. My cousin found it in Tokyo's in Oldham, and it was called Alexander Joseph Foster. Like, shout out Alexander Joseph Foster if you're watching this. I was using his ID. Said I was 21 at the time, so that's how I was able to get into the clubs and play the shows that I was playing at the time.
And have you been producing then since you were 16, or did that kind of come a little bit later?
I started producing before DJing, and then the whole DJing thing kind of came with making the tunes. Like, you've got to be able to play the tunes out and stuff. So, yeah, the DJing thing kind of came after the making tunes sort of thing. And
so you were 16 when you started DJing. When was that then? How long ago was that now?
Well, I'm 20. It was 12 years ago. Like, yeah. So
12. That's honestly though, 12 years in the scene, which you got to think drum and bass has not been going forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 12 years ago in drum and bass is like
quite a long time.
It's a very decent time to be in drum and bass.
Yeah.
You've definitely seen the sound change and come back.
Yeah,
and so you started DJing when you were 16. What was your first big booking?
I was playing a lot of like dubstep sort of like gigs.
Well, that was the thing back then, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
12 years ago.
so
I've always loved dubstep, but
playing the sort of dubstep gigs. The bigger bookings came in like. So fucking hell, it's got to be gassy that. Yeah,
I can't do that, mate.
The bigger bookings came in when I started putting out the drum and bass records. Really started putting out my first releases with Fat Man D at the time. Me and Boo was making a lot of tunes that went out on Fat Man D's label and was getting good track support off like Hazard and Sub-Zero and Hype and everyone back in the days, and that kind of just opened the door out with the whole Belgium side of things when the Belgian bookings started to come in.
That's when it started going off, wasn't it?
Yeah. For like us guys anyway, like we kind of popped on the whole, like when SoundCloud had a lot of focus on it. There's a lot more focus on like Spotify and other streaming platforms, but at the time a lot of the underground music came from SoundCloud. So
but you used to be able to get bare reach on SoundCloud. Now you could post a mix and
don't
Even
really
if
do
you
much.
sent it 20 of your mates, they're the only 20 who are going to see it.
Yeah, of course.
Back then, you could post a mix. You know, even my first mix, I got like 10,000 plays. I guess you could
Because
do that now.
everybody was on it. Like everybody was like looking for fresh new music and that all of like new producers were making, and that was the hub for it at the time. Yeah,
Definitely. And I remember, you know, my first rave I ever went in Manchester anyway, we're at South Nightclub, Function One Sound System, 2016. I were also getting in with fake IDs. Well, they weren't fake, it was just my cousins. And you and Boo were back to back, and Similar were on.
oh, okay.
So I think back then this is 2016, so I think we used to be able to book you and Boo back to back for like 50 quid each and get Similar for about 70 quid a one, or pay his travel because he's from like further down south or whatever.
Yeah, sorry.
How crazy is that sentence?
Yeah, it is a bit.
Couldn't even speak to the three over that now. Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
Big
Fucking
change.
hell.
Yeah, times have changed. Like, yeah, Boo and Similar both smashing it in their own departments as well, pushing their sound that they're pushing.
Complete different sounds as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Similar's bringing mad sounds at the moment. Absolute mad. It's like a mad mix of like dark, like critical type music, but then proper grotty jump up.
It's really original music. I feel like a lot of
100%.
people are trying to like copy his sort of sound at the
Yeah,
moment.
they can try. We're not going to do it about it.
Nah.
The only
You're
one
never gonna
Similar
be,
is sick.
never going to be an original. You're always going to a copycat's never going to be an original.
So, talking back to Belgium then. Now, I know you and Boo were getting booked there loads back in the day. Like, because that back then, that was when I started listening to DNB and that. That's why everyone wanted to get booked. Like, they weren't even probably not getting booked over here. It was get
Everyone
booked in
wanted to play in
Belgium.
Belgium.
Invaders. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wanted to see all that. But there was you had a mad crash, didn't you, in Belgium on that? And I know, was it that proper dodgy motorway from the airport?
Yeah, Charleroi.
I think so, because when we went rampage in 2018, we saw two cars crash on this motorway, and the taxi driver said many people crash on this highway, whatever it is, a proper
it's
weird.
it's not like a motorway, but it's like a big dual carriage.
Yeah.
But then it's got like another road that comes into it, so it's got like another one facing the other way. Yeah.
So was it that road then? Probably. Well, from what the taxi driver described, I'm guessing it was something like that. But anyway, when were that then?
Yeah, that was like must have been like 2017.
And was it just you and Boo?
Yeah, it was me, Boo, and then our driver that some guy that we know. He used to go to Amsterdam and grab a load of trees for us and that and come back. So like every time we went Belgium, we linked him. But yeah, he jumped a red light on the way back to the airport after Skanken base about 5 a.m. He's jumped a red light, and then yeah, I got T-boned by a car. Like car just came straight into our car, and yeah, T-boned me and broke all my ribs. Like
what?
Yeah, don't
I didn't know it was like a bit of a like I didn't know he'd been for a red light or anything. I thought
yeah. No, our driver jumped a red light.
What?
Yeah, I got T-boned and all my ribs broke on that. And yeah, Amin actually resuscitated me. So I don't remember anything from the car accident until like getting up in an ambulance and like shooting up, being like in a load of pain with my ribs and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't remember anything. I remember the lights hitting, like the car hitting us. I shot up in an ambulance, like I've got Boo screaming at me like that I'm alive. He's like, "You alive, bro? Like, you alive, bro?" It was.
It does actually sound like him as well.
Yeah, he was like, "You alive, bro? Like, bro, you alive?" Like, yeah, it was, yeah, it was a bit mad.
You must have still been pretty.
Keep going, guys. I'll stop.
I will get this a little bit cool. You must have still been pretty young then as well, though. 2017, early 20s or something.
It was 7 years ago. So like 21, 20.
It's mad that
Yeah.
young.
That
Obviously,
was like our second biggest show in Belgium. Like played in front of like 2,000 people.
what was it? Was it Invaders?
Skanken Bass.
Oh, Skanker Bass.
Yeah, it was Skanken Bass.
Do they still happen then?
No. Yeah, no. Michelle doesn't throw his parties anymore. But that was quite a big night. in Belgium back at the time. That was like one of the biggest
I remember Skank because I had met many of the mixes back in the day.
It's a different YouTube channel. The YouTube channel's different people. It's not the same guy, but Michel in Belgium, he used to throw parties under the same name, but the YouTube promotion channel's completely different people.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. Yeah, Skank can basically promote tunes now. It's completely different. Yeah. The yellow logo, that's the one. Yes, that's completely different. But that's mad that. I know it's not like any age to be in a crash, but that's young. It's been a big crash as well. So, how long did you end up staying in Belgium for because of that? I
was in Charleroi in the hospital for like a week. I remember.
I bet that was mad being in a Belgian hospital for a week.
It's mad because the first when I got to the hospital, I got taken through to my internal bleeding scan to see if I was bleeding on the inside, and I remember going through to it, and the guy, he looks like the sort of guy to be like stood next to a speaker at a rave, you know, with like big goth boots on and like dreadlocks. Like this guy, he was huge. This guy, and he's saying to me, he's like, "Oh, like what's happened?" And I was like, "Oh, like, I've had a car accident on the way home from Skank and Bass," and he's like, "Skank and Bass?" He's like, "You make drum and bass?" And I was looking at him like. Yeah, what the fuck? Like, how does this doctor know what drum and bass is? Do you know what I mean? And I'm high on a load of morphine, and he's like, you met drum and bass? And I'm like, yeah, I met drum and bass. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, my name's Dutta. And he's like, is that Boo outside in the waiting room? And I was like, looking at him like confused, still like.
You were thinking, am I tripping here?
Yeah. Like, you know, like, is this real life? Like, is this real life? Like one of them sort of moments, like, and he was saying that I'd signed music to his business partner's label. So like he owned a label with this other guy, and I'd signed music at the time to this guy for cash up front. So the guy knew who me and Amin was.
That's mad.
In the hospital.
But they do love it in Belgium. They all love drum and bass, don't they?
So that was a bit weird. And then the first person I actually seen that I know personally, like Frank from City Flow, the guy who owns Gun Audio, he came to the hospital to come see me and like check in on me and give me directions to get to his place when I came out of hospital and stuff. And when I came out of hospital, like I crashed at his place for a while. Like I came out of hospital on the Wednesday, I got discharged, and then on the Friday I actually had a show for Frank back to back with Boo. So
in Belgium again?
Yeah.
So you just stayed there to the next show?
It. Yeah. I was at Frank's like in a lot of pain. And we was all talking about the party on Friday or the Saturday or whatever day it was. And they was all thinking that I wouldn't be able to play the party, but I was like keen to play it. I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna go there and play it. I'm not just gonna.
I mean, you've been here another week now.
I'm alive. Yeah, I was like, I'm alive in it. Like, so yeah, I'm gonna go there and party and have a good time, innit? Yeah, a bit of a madness.
That is mad.
Yeah,
that is mad. You got any other mad rave stories? Mad stuff that might have happened. Or at raves. I don't have to mention names or anything, but.
Can't even think because I'm quite on the spot.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. But so you went from there, right? And you, because I remember when I used to go and watch you back to back Boo. The reason I go and watch is because Boo would be playing rollers and you'd be playing jump up, and that's right, like a sick kind of mix between the periods. But you both have a very unique sound, which, as you've already covered, there's a lot of people just copying sounds now. But I do kind of think, you might disagree with me here, but I do kind of think the reason sounds are being copied is because through lockdown, because everyone started doing all them sample packs and stuff, people haven't learned how to produce kind of from scratch. Everyone's kind of gone, oh, that's how they do this.
With buying presets and stuff.
Yeah, buying presets, because then once it's sold, you can't really moan about it. Do you reckon I kind of might be on the right lines? Because I'm not a producer, so I could be completely wrong, but I feel...
No, I just think like if you're gonna go and buy like presets and stuff, like yeah, it's cool to like have a look how it's made or whatever, but like I think that a lot of this sound at the minute that is popular is from Ashley's presets which is premium. He owns Excerpt, which is like the agency.
I think I remember you telling me that ages ago.
Excerpt packs. But yeah, like people can do their thing. People can do what they want. Me personally, I prefer to kind of stay away from all that side of things and keep things original, really, because then my sound isn't going to sound like anyone else or be copied or
exactly.
It's going to sound like genuine.
No, it's all right. Sorry, me. But so with production, then, when you got started off, have you always just used the same software or?
Yeah, I've always used Fruit Loops. Yeah,
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. Yeah, I went through like a phase where I was using a lot of hardware, effects and hardware instruments.
I remember you had like a setup at, when you lived in Media City. You had all the
plasma pedal,
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I had quite a lot of gear. I went into a bit of a rabbit hole with it all and was just buying things, seeing if that works. Like buying things with other things, seeing if it works for what I want to get out of it. Just experimenting with all that, keeping music production fun instead of just going back in the door and using the same VSTs or whatever. But I'm using a lot of Serum at the moment, and I'm preferring the automation and everything inside my workstation. So yeah, I feel like I've got a lot more like leg room with my sound design and things like that, instead of using hardware. Hardware just sounds very warm, so it's like you don't really have to process it as much and stuff like that. But yeah, kind of just taking things back to basics now, and I've got everything just.
But you end of the day, if you didn't try it, you wouldn't have known, would you?
Yeah, you
tried it. You now know what works, what doesn't work, and what you like.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you got to try it. You got the opportunity to, you may as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're back up many ways. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the reason I've not seen you in time. What are you looking to do now? So you've achieved loads of things. You know what I mean? You've played loads of massive sets, and I've noticed you sounds like it's kind of going back to how it used to back in the day, kind of thing. Because I feel like you experimented, but what is it you're looking to do now? What kind of sound are you looking to bring out?
I'm just keeping this rollers thing moving, and that's running with that, like running with the rolling sound and that, keep making music that's got a lot more shelf life than the past music I was making. Like I want to be making records that sound good
forever, not just in a certain period. If want to be like someone listens to that in 10 years, it's like, oh yeah, this is a banger still.
That's always been good type thing. So try to.
I think you are right. There's a lot of tunes where it pops off at the time. First few times you hear it, then you hear it a few times, you think
dies down a bit. Like people do get bored of things as well. I feel like no one's really got the attention span for it anymore, and there's such a big influx of music being made, and a lot of it is cheap and like throwaway, tacky sort of sounding.
Millions of bootlegs at the moment. But the thing is, it's a younger generation thing now, because everyone's been brought up around the phones. Everyone's addicted to like quick wins, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They're like, buzzing off this for a quick set. But they're waiting for the next thing to come around to completely forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Which TikTok is a big influence in that, because the more common videos, 15 seconds long. As long as you can buzz people up in 15 seconds, is that kind of thing. And it's all that chopping. Like, I hate it, me. I like being able to listen to a tune. Chopping between beats, but I like a tune being on for a good couple minutes. Do you know what I mean? I want to hear it. Yeah. When people play like 20 seconds, next tune 20 seconds, let me listen to it.
It's just a bit too hectic. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd never watch like a set from one of the older dons like doing sort of like mixing like that. And
never see Fabio Groover or anyone doing
that. Or like Marky or whatever.
Nah, it's not happening, because you like the tune breathe. Like, it's a bit different if you like watching Blackley doing a 6-deck set, because then you're there for how many tunes he's going to get.
That's what you're there for.
Expecting it then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you got someone on 2 decks and they're just chopping between 2 tunes every 2 sets.
No, when you watch someone, you want it to be like a bit more of like a journey and that, where it's like it's a vibe all the way through it. No, like not everything just 100 miles an hour all the time. I can't really speak for myself. I mix quite fast. I'm a bit more like...
You don't play 20 seconds every tune, though. You know what I mean? You want people to hear your tunes.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Now, I want to speak about some of the releases you've had out over the years, right? Now, there's been some, obviously, rollers.
Do you like rollers?
Do you like rollers? It'll be. Do you know what? I got a mad story about J-Line, actually.
Go on.
So, when I were in the Sun, whether he remembers me or not, he was staying in the room below us, and I with all, you know what I mean, out West Horton, like all them used to go collision and all that, so you can imagine what we were like.
Yeah.
And, so someone dropped something into his garden bit, but we didn't know it was J-Line, so we knocked on the door. And he sort of come in and party with him and that for a bit. And just a mad guy. And then one of my mates lost his phone in the rave, J-Line found it. And he was like, Joe, one of them were, do you know what I mean? He was off his head and he was like, this is it, my life's over and all this. J-Line found the phone, he came up to me and went, there you go, bruv. Give him the phone. And it was just the last guy.
What a good lad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? As if he remembered him though. I mean, my mate were absolutely twisted as well.
That's a good deed, that.
Yeah, it was
That's
sick.
a good
Do you know what I mean?
deed,
It was just a mad,
I'll give him that
it's just
one.
a mad thing out of anyone to be in the flat below us, J-Line, and then he found my mate's phone. Mad. A sound guy though as well. It was proper sound with us. Like, I suppose it's because he didn't want us to chuck eggs from him from above or something. I don't know.
Terrorise him.
Yeah, but you've got loads of past releases that obviously went massive. Rollers. I feel like that literally kicks off everyone then doing rollers. That tune definitely jumped up the opportunity at the time. How did it come about? Was there even much thought to it, or was it just let's get this fucking tune?
I bought a tune off Jay for my label when I just started my label, and then I paid him for a couple of tunes, and then I got him on the phone one day and said, "Have you got the project for do you like jungle?" And I said, like, I'll send you a vocal sample saying, "Nah, rollers, mate. Let's do you like rollers?" And then I played that out for the first time when we made that, and the video went viral.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
Capitalised on what everyone would just get onto rollers.
Exactly.
Absolutely capitalise it. It was
the word in everyone's mouth, innit? Yeah.
Sick.
So it was a good time. I was in the right place at the right time.
100%. 100%. And then obviously Domino's. And then obviously you got around Serum's label that, wasn't it? And he's got all his funky artwork, and it's you stood there with pizza as a cat. But you were gassed with that as well.
Yeah, the Domino's release. That was like my first release on Souped Up. Domino's. Yeah.
How many releases have you had on Souped Up now?
8.
I'm about to say there's definitely been a few.
I've done 8. I've got my 9th in April. So I've got another 3 track in April coming up.
Obviously, I've never met Serum yet. I've met a lot of people in drum and bass. He seems like a funny guy and a sound guy. I'm guessing if you've had nearly 8, 9 releases, he is exactly as he seems on social media.
Yeah, he's a good laugh. Yeah, it's good fun. Good fun to get in the studio with.
I bet it is.
Yeah, proper good guy.
Is it hard to get him in the zone, or does he just end up talking loads of crap to you?
Nah, he's good. He's good to work with. Like we end up getting quite a lot done when we get in the studio together. We'll do like 3 or 4 ideas type thing and drink a load of beer and a lot of vodka and that.
Eat kebabs and curries and all that as he always goes on. So it's exactly as you'd seen.
Yeah.
Good that though. Sometimes like when you hear people meet like such big people in a scene or actors and all that, and they end up being nothing like they are online or in the films. It's good to hear Serum's the real deal.
Yeah, he is the real deal. Yeah,
Well, shout out to Serum then. Get your podcast next. But and then the Rusko collab, that were mad. Rusko.
Yeah, did 5 tunes with Rusko.
I didn't know you did 5.
Yeah, put 5 out with him.
Is he American?
No, he's British. He's from.
Well, he's based in America though, isn't he? A lot of the time.
He's based in LA, but he's got a little boy in the UK. So he was coming to the UK to see his boy a lot. So he'd come Manchester and
make tunes.
He'd be at my flat for a bit, you know what I mean? So every time we was getting in, we was making 3 or 4 tunes together. Like another really good person to work with. Like big vibe in the studio. Yeah, I'm quite like fast paced working. So when I'm working with someone else like that, it's quite refreshing.
Because some of the tunes did you release some of them on Souped Up as well? I think you did, didn't you? Or at least one of them.
The Roscoe collabs were on my label.
All of them?
Yeah.
All on Informal. And is Informal still going now?
Yeah. I'm just focusing on like just a lot of my self releases at the minute. Like I've got a release dropping in May called Rollers Ain't Dead, which is just going to be all these tunes that I'm like putting out as singles at the moment.
Lang, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
Because Rollers Ain't Dead.
Yeah,
I love
man.
a roller, mate.
Yeah, man.
Lang. We're on that. With Informal, there's quite a lot of artists that when you were bringing them out, no one knew, whereas now, some of them pretty established. Are there any that you want to shout out in particular?
Yeah, Disruptor smashed it.
Disruptor definitely smashed it.
He smashed it. Nick the Lot.
Nick the Lot,
He
yeah,
smashed
again.
it. Shout out Subcriminal or shout out Flipnosis.
It's sick though.
Yeah. A lot of.
I actually didn't know Nick. I couldn't remember Nick Lot being on Informer. I remember him just popping up out of nowhere and then be like, "Oh, there's this guy coming
he's
from."
always been sick, man. He's always been making really cool ideas, but watching him flourish and that's rewarding.
And do you know? So when you took him onto your label, then obviously you've been producing a long time. Were you giving him tips and stuff, or were you just basically saying, "Send us tunes, let's see what you're about"?
There was like a couple people that I was like jumping on Discord with, and I was showing how I make my sounds and stuff like that. But more time, they've just been doing their thing. I've just been trying to like push their sound in the right direction.
And you're focusing on your sound for now. So have you got maybe like a label opening or anything later this year for the next generation? Are you on the lookout? Or are you always on the lookout?
At the minute, I'm just like focusing on my own sound and my own stuff. I'm not really looking on taking any new artists on or anything like that. I'm just 2025. I'm putting the time into Dutta.
2025, it's mad that, isn't it?
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
Where the hell is time going? How the hell are we already near enough in March?
Isn't it nearly 30 now?
I'm 25. I'm 25. I was always the youngest at group. I've been alive a quarter of a century. What the bloody hell's going on?
29 in April.
I mean, how old are you, Lee? But so when is your next release out then?
I've got a tune dropping on Friday. I've just dropped a tune.
So that'll probably be out like a week before this, but
They're,
we'll still talk about it.
Yeah, they're going to be on the Rollers Ain't Dead project. I'm releasing all the tunes as single and then as a big project. But my next big project is in April. So that's coming out in Souped Up, Don Perry on Part 2. I've got a feature with Black Josh on there and I've got a feature with Shadow from Knots as well.
That'd be sick. Got Black Josh on a tune.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sick tune as well.
I bet it is.
Yeah, it's a good song, isn't it, man?
Sick. Have we got a little preview of a tune then we can play? What tune can you give us a little preview of?
What do you want
for the pod?
I can give you a preview of the tune with Black Josh.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so what's the name of the tune?
It's called Peep Show.
And with Black Josh, and when's it coming out?
It's coming out in halfway through April on Souped Up.
Sweet, let's play it now.
Don't put your camera in my face like Peep Show. Cheat code, you don't have to know because the streets know. Cheat codes to this game of life and also these hoes. In someone setting stone, 9 in the machine, no. Reloads, I get them in the club and for the fiends, bro. Flagging like T-Foes, everything seems slow. Don't put your camera in my face like Peep Show.
So, there's a lot of controversial topics in drum and bass at the moment, yeah. And you being from Manny, yeah, you've been around a lot longer than I have. I want to know some of your views. So we'll talk about the first one, yeah. Where loads of people are moaning about it. So everyone's spending the money, and I keep bringing this up on each one, but every time I've had a different answer. So from your perspective, everyone's spending their money on going to a massive night with, I don't know, like warehouse projects or somewhere like drum sheds and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah.
spending all the money, 40 odd quid there, rather than going to like a local club night. From your experience, what do you prefer playing? If it's packed, regardless, so either a small club with a 6 sound system or a massive club which sometimes doesn't reflect.
It depends, innit? It depends. Like, I think obviously playing the bigger parties are better, but like I think the vibe's better at a smaller party. I do kind of see why people want to spend £40 on a bigger ticket to go to a bigger scale event, because you can go watch 10 headliners back to back instead of watching one or none. So I do get why. I do get the appeal from it, and I think like since lockdown, everyone's skint as well, so no one's got the money like they had. Everyone kind of just does want to save it for them big parties. Everyone's just happy to sit in the gaff and have like 4 friends around and get a bottle of vodka and get the decks on or whatever on a Saturday or a Friday. Like, I know what I prefer doing personally. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but go support your nights, go buy a ticket and watch your friends and stuff, and yeah, definitely go do that. That's one thing I will give out to the viewers.
One of the things that's changed a lot since I first started going out, so I always used to sell tickets. From being 6 hours selling tickets for bear events, and that's why I used to go loads of events as well, because I was getting in for free. And you don't really see anyone selling tickets for anything anymore. You know
Everything's
what I mean?
more digital.
Everything's digital.
Even money.
Who's going to buy a ticket off someone for save £1 because it's on a different link? You just can't be bothered. Just search it, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I think that's a big thing. It's a big culture change. I do think COVID changed a lot of things though, because everyone were inside so much. I think a lot of people can't be asked going out as much anymore.
Everyone found comfort in staying at home.
I'm one of them. I used to go rave every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, same.
And I love sitting at home.
And then
I
sometimes in a week, sometimes on a Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll be midweek raves at Antwerp Mansion. That were a mad video. Did you ever play there?
Yeah, pure times.
Did you ever play there?
Pure times.
You played there when, I tell you what, because I jumped on the mic when you were playing with Franny B upstairs.
That must have been years ago now.
Yeah, I tell you what, you had a green G13 Records top on. So
I do remember that. I do remember when that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been.
Because I projectile vomited on stage because you were putting Grey Goose down my neck.
That was after the accident. That was after the car accident.
Yeah, but I think it was the same year though, 2017.
It was like 2017.
Because G13 Records, and that'd been about for time. So definitely 2017. Yeah, because it were baseline out downstairs and DNB upstairs, and it were you.
Oh, was it Deep Fried?
Yeah. Pete Nelson's night. It was. Shout out PZP. Come on, girl. So it was. Listen to this lineup upstairs. This was a room, like a room 2, basically, because the main room with the bass line. So you, Boo, Stranger, Similar.
Yeah, heavy.
As a room 2.
Yeah,
imagine that now.
Yeah, it was a good lineup.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was actually a good lineup, wasn't it? Cheap as chips then as well.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, mental.
That is actually mad when you think about that as a room 2. Fucking hell. Room 2 now, you get me and then some kids from uni. Not getting no next gen talent there. Madness. Antwerp Mansion were one of my favourite venues. Although it was horrible sweatbox and the toilets were hanging. It was
character though.
I had character. Sound system were always sick. It felt like you were in it literally felt like you were in a massive gaff just at a rave. Yeah, and I think that's what's missing from a lot of them smaller raves.
It was absolutely sweaty though.
It was horrible. Every time we were in there, projectile vomited. It was sick. And
I had a few right sessions in there.
And do you know what was sick? They always had them heads who used to go around, and you'd never buy one if you were sober. Do you want to take a picture on one of them cameras?
On a Polaroid?
Polaroid. Used to always sell them at Antwerp Mansion.
That is actually a sick idea.
Yeah. Whoever's doing it makes tell you.
I would actually pay like up to £10 for a good photo.
Yeah, you do though, because it's a memory in it. Because once it's printed, you stick it on wall. Because you don't ever take pictures of print them anymore. Everyone just posts it on Instagram and that's it. It's done. Yeah. I do. I empty my gallery. Once I've posted it on social media, I think balls to it. I'll find it on social media in a few years if I want to find it. I keep my phone cleared up. You know what I mean?
Need that space for COD.
Yeah. I mean, need that space. But yeah, because there's a lot of small venues now. Did you hear that as well? What's just closed? Mint Lounge.
Really?
Mint Lounge is closed, and Old Abbey. Old Abbey Tap House is just closed.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know it were closing. Last rave on Thursday.
Fucking hell.
And Old Abbey Tap House were one of the last small venues that did have a bit of a
bit of character. I was going to say that gaff was sweaty as well.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It had a bit of character though. Like,
you know what's mad about that spot? Yeah, though, like that was like in the middle of nowhere, and it was like the most like
weird spot,
urban spot for like creatives and artists. But then you get a vodka there, and you're paying the same price that you pay in town. Like, why? It's like tenner for a drink.
It's in like a bunch of mad.
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere in Hume. Like, it's nowhere near anything in town, and it's the same price to get a vodka as it would be in Northern Quarter.
That's the same with local pubs. Like my local pub, you know, it's nearly £6 a pint now in Bolton.
It was one day my mum and dad's, and they put. I was going to swear. They serve a vodka lemonade, for £2.50. Swear to God, double. £2.50.
Dangerous that being close to home.
I never go in there. It's ghetto in there, but yeah, £2.50.
Lang.
Yeah.
What's that called again?
I can't even tell you what the I'll take you there one day if you want, mate. But
come on,
yeah, if anyone can tell us a cheaper pub, then let us know in the comments.
Innit, Lang, we're on that. But Mint Lounge as well. It was mint, to be fair.
It was.
It was.
Heavy nights in
some
there.
sick nights in there. But now I can't actually name many small venues now where they've got like a good bit of character. I like Joshua Brooks a lot. I've always liked Joshua Brooks, but I feel like it's
Eastern Block's pretty cool.
It's like a big small venue, Joshua Brooks. It fits a good few hundred in.
Yeah, Joshua Brooks is pretty big, especially when it's got upstairs and downstairs open.
That's like I've never been that stage in radio, but I hear decent things about that.
It's all right.
I've never been there.
Pretty sick, you know.
That's a nice little intimate venue.
It's like a basement sort of vibe, innit, downstairs and that. Yeah, it's pretty sick. It looks like a big Fallowfield basement. Like, it's sick, you know. Yeah, stage and radio is good.
Sound Control as well. That used to be one of my favourite venues.
When did that shut?
Sound Control shut years ago now, but they turned that into flats. It didn't just go bust. Because that's the thing with Mint Lounge and Finger. By the sound of it, it's just gone bust and not been bought.
Yeah, but no one ever used to go Lint Lounge.
Lint Lounge.
Lint Lounge.
No one ever used to go. Sounds like a fake name.
Lint Lounge. No one ever used to go though. Like it was always quiet in there.
I know. Yeah, I only went a couple of raves ago. Sound Control. That were mad when that closed because that were busy. That's where I went loads of my first rave. They used to always
Masters of Drum and Bass.
Masters of Drum and Bass and Relapse. Yeah,
that was Foss, the same guy who was running that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've not seen him in years.
I was going to say what happened with Foss.
Disappeared.
Yeah, that's a bit
last
mad.
time I saw him, he did do you remember them 4-floor Masters of Drum and Bass versus Relapse at Manny Academy?
Yeah, I do.
Last time I saw him were there when you were on back to back. Boo, Calix and TB, AMC.
I think I remember that. You know.
Yeah, that was the last time that we're on, and the last time I seen him, and it was a busy night.
Academy 2?
Where you can go in the different floors.
I
think you were in Academy 2, and then they had the basement Academy, whatever.
Did he have all of Manchester Academy
I'm pretty sure he had a lot of it, yeah. Yeah, because it weren't the only other ones then, that A1, that massive room, he didn't have that.
All right. Yeah, Foz was throwing some good parties, to be honest. Relapse was a good night.
Yeah. There were some sick nights, but then he just disappeared and the nights disappeared.
I think the drum and bass scene in Manchester,
just changed.
Yeah. I don't think, I think it went quiet, to be honest.
Because a lot of that's proper heavy DNB as well. Although AMC's massive, yeah. Booking in Manchester, he doesn't.
Fozzy used to put Icicle and people like that, which were big veterans in the drum and bass game, and a lot of neuro funk and that. He's got a lot of neuro funk guys. But I don't know, since back in the days we had Sabotage that Brownie and Props. I think Brownie and Props threw Sabotage. So they used to throw a jump up party. Foz was running Relapse. Hit and Run was getting the same guys.
Hit and Run's always just been a certain genre. Although he used to have on the posters, I was laughing at him with this, Rich. He used to have on the posters no jump up and that, but then he's had jump up on him. Now he's got this sound. Yeah, he has. Because that's the thing in Manny now. Apart from Hit and Run, because they
People want it.
Hit and Run, they do 140s and you got dark and liquid and that, yeah. But then apart from Hit and Run, you go in watching Jump Up or Dance Floor.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't really see much else. Because what I was saying is AMC is one of my favourite DJs, yeah. It's massive. But you don't have the same pull in Manchester for some mad reason. You don't have the same... If you put AMC on an headliner, but then if you put like people, obviously like Boo edits and that, it'd be complete different turnout.
Yeah, 100%.
Complete different turnout, which is mad when you look at it.
Much bigger artists now.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it again because of that new age? Headache seems to be moving a lot more to like a dub. He's trying a lot of dubstep now, getting in with the American scene.
Right, okay.
Standard, because there's only 60 million people. There's 600 mil there, so I would as well.
Yeah.
You can win the American audience. Boom, off. See you later.
Yeah, nice. You're nice with it.
It's got to be done. What would you say for you is? We'll do best rave you've ever played, like venue, and then best festival. What would you say your favourite venue you've ever played a set at? It might not be the size, it might just be because of how it went, or...
I played, not Storm Club in Prague. I've played a couple of sick parties. One of my most favourite parties that I played a party in Toulouse.
Is that France?
Visage, yeah, I played for Visage. So I played for them guys because them guys throw parties out there. And then that's when I first met Monty and all of them guys.
I think I remember seeing it on your story and that.
Well, when I was seen him on the flight in New Zealand and that. Yeah, he woke me up I was literally on my way to tour and that, and I was going from one country in I can't remember what flight. It was my last flight anyway, and I was like asleep on the flight, and someone was shaking me saying Dutta, and I woke up and it was him, and I was like, fucking hell, fancy seeing you here. Imagine that. You're the last person I thought were gonna wake me up. What the fuck? Yeah. Shout out Monty. I spent a lot of time with them guys in New Zealand, partying and stuff, and get him taken to him from the festivals out there. Some of them.
Yeah, about to say, what do you reckon of these New Zealand festivals and that?
Yeah, sick.
Everyone seems to gas them up.
Yeah, sick.
And they look after you about the look of it as well.
Yeah, it was good, man. I went out for Sub 180, did 10 shows out there. Played one prior to New Year's Eve, and then I played a New Year's Eve set. Played when it was the sun was setting for Sub 180 for their festival that they do called that sounds bad now. Rolling Meadows, yeah. So I played 2 sets for them guys, festivals wise, and then the other shows were just either me headlining or I was a special guest on a couple shows where I did a special guest for Colvin and Skepsis in Wellington, and then I played me and Document One. I was a special guest on Documents One show at studio in Auckland, innit? So yeah, touring's out there. It's good, man. Good fun. Money's good. They look after you out there. Yeah, the crowds are sick. The partying's sick.
So when you did the 10 shows, and how long were you there for?
I was there for 8 weeks because
that is sick.
We had to
tour.
Yeah, we had to quarantine though.
Oh, I forgot. How long did you have quarantine for?
I did 10 days in.
I bet that would dry.
It was like a military style hotel where there's people outside with guns and shit, and you can't leave the fucking room.
Yeah.
You've got to ring the hotel for a cigarette to go for a cigarette and stuff like that. They'll give you a time, a specific time when you have a slot to go for a cigarette.
That was driving you mad.
You go out and you're smoking 4 one after the other, because you don't know. Yeah, you don't know when you can even have another cigarette. Obviously, I wasn't smoking any bud out there, so that was it was just
locked in quarantine for 10 days. You allow 4 binds every few hours.
You have a limit on how much alcohol you can buy. So you can only drink up to I think it's you can get a bottle of Prosecco a day if you wanted to, but you can't drink anymore. So yeah, it was quite
So you get a bit lit and then you're just done this
what's
enough
going on
now.
Man? I may as well try to go to sleep. But yeah, no, I was out there 10 days self-quarantine in Auckland. No, not self-quarantine. Went to the hotel quarantine. And then I had to self-quarantine in Christchurch for 3 days until my final test results come back. And then when my final test results come back, I had a show that day, and it was Christmas Eve. So I played my first show as soon as I got out, as soon as I got my test results back for my COVID. I literally played my first show, from there. So yeah, my tour started day before Christmas Eve, and then I had no other shows until New Year's Eve then. So I did my New Year's Eve shows, and then after that, my tour actually started. So I'd been there for like
best part of a month, really.
best part of a month before my tour started. So I was out there, obviously, like as soon as I came out of quarantine, I was going nuts because
obviously you're like, people.
Yeah, you just locked me in like a hotel for 2 weeks. Like I got out and I was going, I was like partying, hella.
Yeah,
I had a good time out there.
When I were on that TV show, we had to quarantine for 3 days in this. We're in this hotel, but it looked like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Really?
Some mad, like it looked like a massive white mansion, in the Dominican Republic. But it weren't the touristy bit. Like people only go to this hotel in Savannah Bay because it's right next to the shore, and you can get a boat to go and see whales at a certain time of the year. It's like a proper 5-star like luxury thing.
Mad.
But I couldn't leave the room.
Oh, so you couldn't even do anything. You couldn't even do all this nice
quarantine for like 3 days, while waiting for COVID results and that. But then eventually we started being able to go down and like have food, and then started getting out cocktails and because that were a mad hotel. I tell you what though, the first night, like it took us nearly 24 hours to get there, because it was like 3 hours. Because it was COVID times when I went on it, we had to do. So I get a 4-hour taxi to London because I couldn't. So I didn't pay for any of this. I got a 4-hour taxi to London, stayed over at Heathrow. Then we got a 2.5-hour flight to Madrid, and then 9-hour flight from Madrid to the Dominican, and then a 4-hour drive to where we were staying. Oh my God. The longest journey of my life. The journey home was even worse because it was longer, and I was rough out my head after I'd been there for 6 weeks. Honest to God, that was the worst journey home I've ever had. But yeah, so when we got there, I just thought, I just want to put TV on. Got TV. I was thinking, this is a sick fucking room in this. Put TV on, not a single English channel. But I found Harry Potter. And you're in Spanish, and I can understand Spanish a bit because it was Harry Potter. I knew what was going down anyway. I thought, this will have to do. But he's dubbed, and it's just some come and say Emma. But he's not even trying to sound like Harry Potter. What a bollocks! It's just absolutely drilling Spanish out here. So I just put a pillow over me and went, "See about this bollocks."
It's actually horrible when you're abroad and you're in like a hotel and you've got TV going on and there's just nothing on. Like we had.
Oh, you've got his BBC World News. What the hell going on?
Bro, I was in Germany, innit? And it's literally like there was like a shooting in like Memphis or something, and it was like it's all we heard. Like I had the TV on the next day. Like I went out New Year's Eve and got a bit like partied a bit, and that was some locals in Cologne. And then the day after, I spent it in bed just chilling, just watching World News, and it was literally just the same.
So depressing.
Over and over and over again. Like change the channel, put it back on. Oh yeah, go on. Let's hear about what's going on in Memphis.
It's just mad. Now, I'll tell you what our subjects I want to run by you. So, there's one thing that doesn't seem to happen at all now. So, it's not pay to play, but one thing that I'd even done it back in the day where they'll say, right, we'll book you if you sell X amount of tickets. What do you think of that from... you know what I mean? You were an up-and-comer at one point. So what I said to you back in the day, right, you go and sell 50 tickets, we'll book you. Do you know what I mean? Because you're getting paid on the tickets and you've proved that you can bring 50 people because then they bring you again. Would you be open to something like that, or would you be quite insulted?
Me personally?
Back in the if you were starting
back in the day, I've done it. No, I've done it.
This is what I'm saying, whereas that doesn't really come about now.
No,
a lot of people think like, no, I should be paid a set amount straight away.
Yeah, but that's just entitlement. That's just a lot of entitlement. Yeah. Everyone is very entitled nowadays.
They are, because it doesn't come about that anymore. Because I think that's a very fair thing, because what you will find, this is why a lot of the smaller raves don't get filled anymore, the people who aren't very well known on the lineup tend to bring the most people because they're all bringing the mates. They're like, "I'll come watch me for my first set." Yeah. Like, I don't know why that stopped getting incentivized. Because at the end of the day, if you sold 50 tickets, even at £1 each, you made 50 quid, the promoter then would normally give you an extra bit of money because you've got 50 people buying drinks in the bloody rave.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I think they should bring back, I tell you what, you want to come on the lineup, you sell X amount of tickets, we'll book you. And then they get another booking, won't they, then, as well? People might think that's controversial, but if you do, shove it up your ass.
It's not.
I'm not asked.
It's fair enough. Like,
I've done it.
So,
You know what I mean? Why would you not? Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't make
absolutely.
any sense.
Everyone just wants to be that guy or that girl nowadays. You know what I mean? Everyone's just obsessed with social media. Like, even like the music industry, it's not even about the music anymore.
I think,
It's
do
about
you know
your
what?
following.
It's what frustrates me about social media is that you now, if you're on the TV or if you are a music artist and that, you basically have to devote to posting on socials all the time to actually keep a following going.
Yeah.
Half the time, there's a lot of people who are massive who they make shit tunes. Or like, do you know what I mean? They're not even making the tunes themselves.
Oh, they've got like a good manager.
Oh, I tell you what do you think of these people who are apparently getting ghost produced, or people are producing the tunes for them?
I'm telling them to shout me. I'll go produce some tunes.
Come on.
Come at me with the cash in it. If you're cash ready, I'll go produce for you. Shout me. I'm not asked me.
I mean, because that's apparently going about. What annoys me about that though? Many say, "Oh yeah, it's happening." Well,
Yeah, but
who
it
then?
always has been.
Who? You know what I mean?
Oh, we've had been. I'm not naming any names or throwing anyone under the bus, but like, it always happened. But if anyone wants any tunes ghost producing, shout me. Come
Shout.
cash ready.
Shout Dutta.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Come on,
For the right price.
for the right price.
Yeah, why not?
So, I tell you what, it's been a good catch up here. It's been a
Pleasure's
good catch
all
up
mine,
here.
mate.
Put it there,
Oh, man.
and we'll definitely get you on a mix.
Yeah, man. I'm on it.
And Lee's gonna MC.
Big up. Can't wait.
Right, Bash.